Hey guys, it's Davin here at brewbits.com. Behind the camera we've got James. Say hello, James. If you're coming to us from our other video on the St. Peter's Cream Stout, then you'll already know that we're going to be splitting this into 4 different stouts. And in this video, we're going to be concentrating on these. And we're going to be making a lovely banana stout with some lovely sweet smelling ripe bananas. Right. Let's get straight into it and get brewing. So to start off with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making it up pretty much to its usual recipe. So I've got myself a bucket, I've got my trial jar, hydrometer, I've got my sterilizer, I've got my spoon for stirring everything, I've got my thermometer, and I've got my siphon. And more importantly, because this is a double tin kit, we'll need a tin opener. Right, so first of all, I'm going to take these out of here because there's a couple of things in here we're going to want. We've got a sachet of yeast and we've also got a sachet of Golding's hot powder. Well, that's gone because we're going off recipe. And then we've got the 2 tins of liquid malt extract. And in here, as you know, if you've done this before, they're thick and they are gloopy. So in my bowl over here in my sink, I'm going to pour off some really hot tap water and then let them sit for about 10 minutes whilst I sterilise everything. The tins have been sitting in the sink now for a good 10 minutes, and that will mean that the liquid malt extract inside the tin has become a little bit more runny, and that means it's a little bit easier to get out of the tin. Oh no! It's going in the drawer to get a knife. Ooh, look how thick and black this is. It's like treacle. Oh, look at that. So whilst I was emptying the second can, I put the kettle on to boil so I could get 2 litres of boiling water. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use this to clean our cans out. So a little bit into each can, and then be very careful but with your spoon. Come on in, give it a little bit of a stir, and then start working it up the sides as you turn the can. It is really hot, and the can does get even hotter because you're using boiling water, so just be a little bit careful. And then once you've got most of it out, because it's boiling water, over to me a second, James, take a tea towel, wrap it up so you can pick the can up without burning your fingers. Almost done, but I think there's still a fair bit left in there to go. So let's do the other one really quickly. And just do that a couple of times if needs be until you've got all your liquid malt extract out. Nice and clean they are now, look. There we go. And then the rest of the water goes in the bucket as well. And then we're going to give this a gentle stir so that we get all the liquid malt extract mixed in with the boiling water. Now that's all lovely and mixed in, because we're going slightly off recipe with making this into 4 different kits, you would normally now top this up to 20.5 litres. But because I'm going off recipe, and because of some of the ways I'm going to be playing around with the ingredients in the other recipes, I'm actually going to top this up just to 16 litres now. So it just takes a few moments with cold tap water. So now I've added the cold water, we need to give it a really good stir to mix in the water with the liquid malt extract down the bottom. Lovely, that's all mixed in. So the next step is to split this into 4 different batches. So here I've got one of my buckets. What else have I got? I've got my little tap on the end so I can stop my flow. I've got a bucket clip which is going to go on the inside of my bucket, and I've got this little beauty, a jug, so I can measure out pretty much exactly 4 litres. So make sure that's in there nicely, clip that in, let's have a quick little suck. And we get the 4 litres going. I've got my 4 batches now of the St. Peter's Cream Stout. So with this batch of the St. Peter's Cream Stout, we're going to add bananas. And these are pretty ripe bananas, and they are ready and raring to turn into lovely banana stout. So I'm literally just going to chop the stalky bit end off, and then just easily chop these into little bits. And then this is going to end up in the saucepan. The bananas are all lovingly chopped up. So I've got my kettle here, and I'm going to take a litre of boiling water. Sweet. They're going to go over my bananas. I'm now going to boil my bananas, or simmer them, for about 15-20 minutes. So the bananas have been boiling away for 15 minutes. And now it's time to get in with a potato masher and just squish them down. They're going to be really soft, so you don't need to really go for this. Just nice and easy. Nice and gently does it, so you don't get splashed with this boiling water. So it's all mashed up, and I know it looks horrible, but trust me, this is going to look blooming, well, taste lovely. So here I've got a straining bag and a bowl, just to make my life a little bit easier. And very, very gently, I'm going to pour this. Yeah, sorry, James, I'm wrong-handed, aren't I? Left-handed I am. Ta-da! Right, now this is really, really, really hot at the moment, because of course it's just come out of a boiling pan. So I'm now going to leave this to cool down, probably for about an hour or so, and then we can look at putting it in the beer. The bananas and the banana water has had time to cool down. So here I've got 150 grams of lactose. Lactose is a non-fermentable sugar. It'll add some body, and it'll also add some sweetness to the finished beer, but the yeast cannot eat this. So this will add lots of lovely, yummy, yummy sweetness. So that goes in there. Oh, this is our last batch. So, oh, I've got a couple of floaty banana bits in there, but that won't matter too much. Hey. So in this goes into our stouts, our St. Peter's Cream Stout. Oh, still got some undissolved, that's easily dealt with. We just pour some back in. Like so. Give it a quick stir. Back in it goes. Look at that, look how it coats everything, so dark. And then this, I know we've got loads of banana flavour from our banana water, but I want as much banana flavour as I can get out of this as possible to really, really make this a real strong banana stout. So, all the mashed up bananas, they have gone into my straining bag, so that once it's all finished, we can give it a good squeeze and get out any extra juice from the bananas. And that extra bit of juice goes in there as well. Right, so I'm going to give that a little bit of a stir around. There we go. Now you'll notice I haven't taken a hydrometer reading, and that's because we've added the lactose, and so you get a very false reading because the lactose sugar is non-fermentable. However, I do know that in bananas, you've got an average of about 12 grams of sugar per 100 grams. And the bananas we used, there was about 600 grams of bananas. So it's added in about 70-ish grams of sugar to our kit. So with the reading that I've taken from the original St. Peter's Cream Stout at 5 litres, I know that we were coming out at 1.044. So this is going to be just a little bit extra, and we can do the maths once it's finished fermenting. So now, the last thing to do for now is, this is the yeast sachet that came with the St. Peter's beer kit, and I split it into 4, and this is the last half a teaspoon of yeast going into this beer kit. And a nice little gentle stir, because I got some on the bag there to make sure it's all gonna work beautifully. Lovely, so lid goes on, And this now goes into my warm place for about 7 days. In this bucket here, I have got the St. Peter's cream stout we made with the bananas. And come on in, James, have a look at this, because the bananas have been bubbling away. It's all been really foamy, bubbling away. It's settled back down. Now, I haven't really been able to test this properly with a hydrometer because of the extra additives we add to it. But the control one I did with just the St. Peter's cream stout, because this has been sat in my warm cupboard now for 8 days. A couple of days ago, I started taking hydrometer readings and they were coming out at 1.016 for the control. So because of that, and I'd seen all the activity in this bucket, it kind of dropped right off. I know it's ready for us to move on. So the first thing I'm going to do is, in here I've got the bag of bananas, and in that bag of bananas it's got some lovely juices that I probably want to get back. And because you guys know I like to keep things clean, I have got some some rubber, well, nitrile gloves, no longer rubber, are they? Too many people are allergic to latex. So over here I've got some cleaner sterilizer. This is some Chem-San. I'm just going to literally use that to sterilize my hands. And it takes a few seconds. Give it a quick wash off with cold tap water. Oh, that's cold. And now we're going to go in and we're going to get our banana bag. Look at that all running out already. Now, there's a load of sediment in this bucket, so I don't really want to squeeze this and disturb the sediment in the bottom. So quickly follow me, James. We're going to take it to our other bucket and we're going to give this a little squeeze. And see what I mean? This is why I've done this, so I can get all this lovely beer out of it. And there's a lot in here. The bananas have given a lot of juice to this beer. And the aromas, oh, they're great. Now, if you're wondering what 4 bananas look like after they've been brewed and squeezed out, there's not much left of them. But we don't need that anymore, so let's get rid of that. So in here we've got our banana flavoured stout. So I need to now get that siphoned off the sediment at the bottom. So here I've got my siphon, and I'm going to be using one of these. This is a siphon sock and it's inside out. And this is going to just help protect, just in case there's any extra sediment in the bottom of that bucket, big lumps, you know, that it's going to help kind of give it a little bit of a filter. And I'm struggling here. It's usually easier when you've got 2 pairs of hands. There we go, just to tie a couple of quick knots. Hey! Right, and then with this end, I've got a sediment trap on the bottom as well, just to help stop any other sediment getting into it. And a quick suck on this end. And down and in it goes. And as always, if you don't want to suck on it, then we do a auto siphon, so you can pump from this end and get it going as well. Now, I'm going to follow the level of the stout down, and as we get closer and closer and closer to the bottom, I'm going to tilt the bucket up so that we can get as much beer out and leave as much sediment as possible. As we're going to be bottling the banana version of our St. Peter's cream stout, I'm going to want it to have a little bit of fizz. So here I've got 40 grams of brewing sugar, and you could just tip it in straight away, but I find it a little bit easier on these smaller batches just to take a little bit of boiling water and dissolve your sugar in a lot easier. So once that's dissolved, up and in it goes. And now all we need to do is a gentle mix with our sterile spoon just to get it all combined. I've also sterilised my bottles. I've got my siphon back, I've got my little bottler, and I've got a bucket clip here as well. Now on the siphon we no longer need the sediment trap because there's no sediment in the bottom. And I'm going to use my bucket clip. So you clip it on tube somewhere about there. Come on you go. Ba-dink. And then that end goes in my bucket. Ta-da. And then this end over here, I'm going to put my bottling wand on in a moment, but first of all, we need to prime it. There we go. And then we just literally take it all the way down and start filling the bottles. So out of this, instead of the 9 bottles, I've got 10 bottles. That must be from all the extra juice we squeezed out of the bananas. And so all I need to do with this now is, because I want it fizzy, is to put this back into my warm place for about an extra 5 to 7 days. And then once it's firmed up and got nice and fizzy, I'm then going to transfer this to somewhere nice and cool, aka my garage. And I'm going to leave it in my garage for about a month so that all the flavors can develop and improve. And then I'm going to pop one in the fridge and pop it open and do a bit of a taste test video. But I also need to make some pretty labels for this, but because I've done the 4 St. Peter's cream stouts with the standard, the banana and the cinder toffee, and I've still got the cookies and cream to go, I'm just going to mark these with a little yellow dot at the moment so I can work out yellow banana, of course. Nom, nom, nom. The smells are amazing already, I can tell you that. I can't wait to actually try this properly. So subscribe and like to our channel so that you get a notification when we do the taste testing video for this. If you've had a go at this, if you've made the full batch with lots and lots and lots of bananas, or if you used a few less bananas, a few more bananas, perhaps you might have used a few other fruits, let me know, because I might be interested in trying it out myself and see what it comes out like. Anyway, that's it for me on this one. I will see you soon when we do the tasting test video for this banana stout. But until then, happy brewing. Oh, happy brewing, and see you next time.